Today I learned. If you think Santa Claus simply sprouted out of a snowy North Pole, think again. The jolly gift giver in red owes a big debt to his Dutch cousin, Sinterklaas. Imagine a bishop in robes, riding a white horse instead of a sleigh, arriving not on Christmas Eve but on December 5th. That's Sinterklaas. Like Santa, he rewarded good children with treats and toys, while naughty ones received lumps of coal. Children left out shoes or clogs instead of stockings, and Sinterklaas sailed in from Spain instead of the North Pole. Dutch settlers brought their beloved tradition to America, and over time, Sinterklaas began to morph. The bishop's robes transformed into Santa's iconic red suit, the white horse traded places with 8 reindeer, and December 5th gave way to Christmas Eve. Sinterklaas's name, influenced by American pronunciations, became Santa Claus. The joy of giving, treats, childhood wonder, these threads still connect the Dutch bishop to the modern Santa. Did you know? The tale behind the beloved tradition of hanging stockings by the fireplace involves St. Nicholas and his pinpoint accuracy in throwing gold coins. According to the story, 3 sisters lived in a Dutch village in poverty. St. Nicholas, known for his kindness and good deeds, decided to lend a hand. Instead of barging in like a jolly elf, he chose a stealthier approach. With a flick of the wrist, he tossed 3 bags of gold coins down their chimney, right into their stockings hung to dry by the fire. From this act of generosity, a tradition was born. Children, eager to catch St. Nicholas's gold, began hanging their stockings. Over time, the gold morphed into toys and treats, but the spirit of St. Nicholas's gift-giving lived on. This custom crossed the Atlantic with Dutch settlers and took root in America. But the story doesn't end there. In Italy, Befana, a kind witch on a broomstick, fills stockings with treats and coal. In France, Père Noël delivers gifts not just to stockings but also to shoes placed by the fireplace. Did you know? While festive celebrations predate Christianity, decorating trees with pagan symbols held spiritual significance long before Santa's first sleigh ride. But it was in 16th century Germany that these ancient practices intertwined with Christian traditions, creating the Christmas tree as we know it. Early accounts of paradise trees, laden with apples and wafers, evoke the Garden of Eden and the Eucharist, while lightship fir trees, adorned with candles, symbolized the light of the world. Gradually, ornaments evolved. Glass-blown baubles reflected the candlelight. Tiny wooden figures depicted nativity scenes. Gingerbread cookies added a touch of sweetness to the spectacle. However, the Christmas tree wasn't immune to scrutiny. Some saw it as paganistic, clinging to forgotten rituals. Others worried about fire hazards. Yet, the tradition persisted. Families gathered around the glowing trees, singing carols and exchanging gifts. From those humble German beginnings, the Christmas tree embarked on a global journey. So the next time you admire your tree, remember the families who first whispered stories into its evergreen boughs. Did you know? Mistletoe's journey begins with the Celts, nature-attuned wanderers who saw mistletoe as a sign of divine intervention. Growing without touching the earth, this parasitic plant was a beacon of magic, with its silvery leaves offering promises of protection and prosperity. So, they hung it in doorways, hoping to entice good fortune and ward off lurking shadows. But the mistletoe's charm wasn't confined to blessings. In Norse mythology, Baldur, the god of light and joy, is invulnerable to all harm except mistletoe. Loki, the trickster god, crafted an arrow from this plant to strike Baldur down. Frigga, his heartbroken mother, declared mistletoe a symbol of love and peace, decreeing that anyone passing beneath it must receive a kiss. This Nordic embrace blossomed into a playful tradition across Europe. Romans believed mistletoe's kiss could cure ailments, while Greeks used it in fertility rituals. In England, servants found their voices beneath its leafy canopy, stealing kisses from their masters amidst the Yuletide revelry. Did you know? In 1914, World War I, a conflict still in its infancy, had already turned the Western Front into a desolate maze of trenches. The air hummed with bursts of gunfire and explosions, but on Christmas Eve, silence descended on the battlefield. It began with carols. German soldiers, nestled in their trenches, began to sing Christmas hymns. The sound carried across the no-man's land and was met with echoes from the British lines. Soon, the carols became a bridge, and a tentative truce was born. Soldiers cautiously emerged from their trenches, exchanging greetings and trinkets. Enemies became temporary friends, sharing stories and songs, kicking soccer balls across the scarred earth. Photographs were taken, letters exchanged, and for a fleeting moment, humanity flickered against the darkness. The extent of the truce varied across the front. In some sectors, it lasted hours, while in others, it stretched for days. Christmas feasts were shared, games organized, and even funerals held with mutual respect. It wasn't a universal ceasefire, nor did it end the war, but it offered a glimpse of what could be. Did you know?